What's Gucci, everyone? It's AJ here again. I hope you like my beautiful smiling face, or you don't if you can't see it. And today we're going to be covering kind of how to make your Vim file awesome. And so basically, how to customize your Vim file. And basically now, I say basically so many times, we've learned how to go through and navigate a Vim file and effectively write some notes, delete things, yank things, copy and paste things, most things that you want to do in a Word editor. Something I like about Vim versus Microsoft Word is that in Microsoft Word, there's just so many options of things to do. There's so many options you never use in these insanely huge programs, PowerPoint, Excel, any of these major applications you use. Yes, they have a lot of power. Yes, they have 5 million options. But my bet is you haven't even used 5% of them. You really just usually want to change the font size, change the font color. Kind of that's it when you're writing a paper or something like that. And maybe add page numbers. But Vim also allows for this functionality, but it doesn't come with it. You kind of have to go out of your way to add it, though, but usually you don't need it. And so, to customize your Vim file, what you need is a .vimrc file. And more importantly, you need this at the root of your directory. So if you don't know what the root of your directory is, it's where all your files kind of start coming out of. It's not the center of your computer, for instance, but to get there, you just type in CD. And for me, it says Alex's MacBook Air 2 in this tilde. You can do CD tilde. Tilde is the sign for root when you're changing your directories. So there you go. And then I can open up my vimrc file. Now what your vimrc file is, just to set the record straight here, is it allows for you to customize your Vim file. So if you notice probably, if you just set up Vimeo, just following these videos, a lot of things were happening on my Vim file that you hadn't seen, that weren't happening on yours. There were, for instance, numbers on mine, maybe syntax highlighting, maybe autofilling, and some other cool things I didn't show you guys that allow my Vim development to be easier. And that's what I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to teach you how to make an awesome vimrc file. Now, on a lot of GitHub posts, or if you just Google, awesome vimrc files, there are people who've written 1,000-line vimrc files that customize their Vim and have all these shortcuts and cool extensions to allow you to see things easier or navigate easier, or just do things. And so I'm going to show you kind of the basic way to start your vimrc file. So remember, you go into your root and you want to either, if it doesn't exist yet, go into your vimrc file or create a .vimrc file. That's .vimrc, and Vim is automatically going to look for that and load that before it loads Vim, so it has all those functionalities, extra functionalities. And so there's a lot of settings you can do. The first thing I'm going to point out is comments. So you set a comment here with a single double quote. So with a double quote and then any text after that on that line is a comment. So everything in the light blue, well, not everything in the light blue, everything after the double quotes is a comment I've got here. And I'm going to go over kind of how everything works here. So on line 1 here, I have set non-compatible, and that's because there's two versions of Vim. There's called VI and Vim. And so Vim allows for more functionality than VI. It's just another text editor that is simpler than Vim. And set non-compatible in some cases, it doesn't really matter in this vimrc file, can create problems because certain things are not available in VI that are available in Vim. So you want to just set it to non-compatible so that you can add all the functionality for Vim and not VI. Also, I set the file type to be on. Now, the file type, it allows you to detect file types. So let's say you make an extension for Ruby files, Python files, or text files, that you can detect what type of file you're using, and then that your extension can work for that. Again, we're not going to go over extensions here, but we're going to be able to do that. And so another really cool thing you can do quickly is you can do syntax here. And let me delete this line here, and let me quit this file and load it again. And as you can see, I got rid of syntax on, and my fancy kind of highlighting went away. And so now I'm going to add it back here. And I'm going to write in quick vimrc, and then I'm going to load it again and get syntax. So you can see what syntax does. It tries to highlight certain keywords based on Vim's basic principles. So we'll highlight things in between quotes and highlight certain variables. this is also, what we're doing here is we're actually writing a programming language. It's called VimScript. There's just a lot of keywords in VimScript. It's called VimScript. So you're writing VimScript and it's just made the configure Vim. Pretty cool, right? People write programming languages for anything. So I've got a comment here. And now we've got another simple thing that's very easy to set to your VimScript is set number. So what that will do, I'll delete this, I find this easier, is that I'll delete that and I'll load it again. As you can see, there's no line numbers on my vimrc file anymore. And we love that. So we love, I mean, who doesn't like line numbers? So I'm going to put that back. And then one thing I do is I have this au buffwritepost.vim, so .vimrc with the tilde so it goes to my root. So what this does is whenever it automatically reloads my vimrc when I save it. See, I just wrote it right. I just saved it right there, and it loaded the line numbers back in when I saved it, and that's what this line 7 does. AU buffwritepost is it automatically loads back my vimrc. So any changes to my vimrc, let's say I change how the line numbers work, I can automatically see it in my vimrc, so I may not have to go test it in another file, but sometimes I may have to do that anyway. And my last line is a very simple thing that I've always been using, is a very simple kind of mapping. So something I hate doing, as I pointed out in other videos, is I hate reaching my pinky across the keyboard to hit that escape key. It's pretty far away for your small pinky. So what I mapped it to is semicolon, semicolon, because you never really type semicolon, semicolon twice, except if, usually you only need one. So I mapped semicolon, semicolon to escape, and as you can see, when I type in my cursor is right between the last semicolon and escape. When I press it twice, my semicolon should go away. Oh, it's already gone away, sorry. Here, wait. I need to go into insert mode, and if I press semicolon, semicolon, I'm there. Guys, I'm losing my mind here. So there you go. So then I press in semicolon, and so that's some pretty easy things. Also, in the next tutorial, I will show you guys how to have some great extensions and use extensions from other libraries that people have wrote, because that's the great thing about using any coding software, is we can use GitHub bundles from other people, and I can show you how I've gotten I have the real implementation of my vimrc file. This isn't my vimrc file I use, I've dumbed it down for you guys, but I can show you some really cool extensions, and I'll have a link to my total vimrc in the link below. Some of it's commented, some of it's not, but you can look at it. And that's all I got for today, guys. Have the best day of your life.